So, you want to write a mystery or suspense story. I did find a really cool website, which I have included for you. It's hyperlinked. It's to thewritingworld.com. What is a mystery short story and how do you write one? I essentially read this and came up with a really cool, kind of abbreviated sense or tutorial of what you should be doing. So, because short stories or your suspense story is going to be rather short, you actually need to be really purposeful with your words. I like the sentence here. Every paragraph, every sentence, every word must be meaningful to the story. If it doesn't move the story forward, you have to cut it out. Okay, so your short story should be probably between 1,000 or 800 words to no more than 2,000 words. It's got to be pretty short. Sorry about that. Another basic fact about short stories is it needs to use a lot of dialogue. So you're going to get the action of practicing dialogue and how to incorporate that. Just like people watching movies like to see the characters talking to each other, and that's what kind of engages the people with your characters, your story should have dialogue. So it shouldn't just be a ton of description. Suspense can be built with dialogue. Characterization can be built with dialogue. Dialogue is a really important piece to add to your story. So, in order to get started, though, you may have an idea of where you want to go, but in every mystery or suspense story, these are the 4 things you need to consider. You need to have a handful of characters. And when you brainstorm your characters, don't just give us their names, like kind of iron out what kind of human beings are they going to be. Is your protagonist going to be somebody who's really likable, or is your protagonist going to be somebody that needs to work on correcting some fatal flaws? And if you think about some of the stories you've read in English class with The Outsiders, you have Pony Boy, who's a pretty reliable protagonist. You really like him. He's hardworking. But then you also have Sal, who in Walk Two Moons is damaged. Her mother has left them. She's hurting. And then she's kind of going on a journey to find relief and comfort from her loss. So you want to think about your character. Who's your main character? And then who are the other people? What makes Walk Two Moons so great is Sal is such a unsure character, but she's also very confident when she's around her friends, like Phoebe, who also loses her mother and kind of goes crazy, but she's comic relief. You have Graham and Gramps in that story who are important and help Sal on that journey to going and finding her mother. So you really want to find your characters and identify those people first. The next thing you want to do in your mystery is find out the problem that your characters are going to have to solve. If you're writing a mystery, there's got to be a problem. There's got to be suspense. Maybe it's a murder. Maybe something goes missing. Maybe they're on the hunt for some secret code or something. There's got to be a problem that your characters are going to solve. And in that same sense, there has to be an obstacle that makes it a little bit more difficult. Maybe it's life or death, right? That's an obstacle that ups the stakes. Maybe it's the character, if they succeed, save humanity. Maybe if they don't succeed, it's the end of the world. Like, try to find a way to up the stakes and put an obstacle in the way so that your story is interesting, okay? The story I just finished, they were recently kidnapped by highwaymen, robbers. And hold on one second. Not right now, I'm recording. Thank you. Sorry about that. It was Mr. Kitzillo. He was attacked by robbers and he escaped. So that was an obstacle that kept us alive. But now we realize he has to go on a mission to Italy where he can find the clue to what those robbers wanted, which was a secret key, and they wanted to go find what the key is now. Then on the trip there, they run into pirates. I know it's fantastical, but at the same time, like, those obstacles are what made that story so interesting. You also need to give your person a way to solve the problem. Okay, so obviously my character here, he had a key. He runs into some people that can teach him about the key. Once he learns about the key, then he develops the plan. So when you're creating your story, your mystery or suspense piece, I want you to think of your characters. I want you to think of the problem that they have to solve. I want you to think of the obstacles that are going to get in their way, and I want you to think of a way to solve that. So for your start, before you do anything else, I want these things really brainstormed and really thoughtfully done. Okay? This may take a couple class periods. I don't mind that, because if you have a solid brainstorm, you know where your story is going, and you're going to be able to come up with something that is engaging and also meeting the needs. You're working right now on a writing skill. Make sure that you are constantly going back to that and checking that over. Okay? Good luck and have fun writing this story. If you need anything, come find me.